into us, burning at both ends. For your love, let me fall.
Hello, my stars. Welcome back to my channel, Goddess of Stars Tarot. It is your celestial baddie, Kira, and she is back with another one. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate the love and support. But y'all already know the damn vibes. Come on up in here. Make sure you like, you comment, you share. Most importantly, smash the notification bell and select the option all so you know when your girl is going to upload another reading or when she is going to go live. What is happening? We about to tap in. We about to tap in. And if you would like to tap in with your girl and book a personal reading, go ahead and check out my website, goddessofwhispers.com. And I appreciate those who have already booked with your girl. We tapped in, we locked in. Yes. All right, so let's dive into this energy because this notes with your celestial baddie is on a whole nother level. So I was actually, hanging out. All right. I was hanging out and this energy came over me because I was just scrolling on, I believe it was TikTok. I don't know, one of them social media channels. And I stumbled upon this video, and what she was talking about is so surreal. So I felt like it was a message that I needed to share with my celestial baddies, because one thing or another, what we're gonna do is uplift each other over you. All right. And you know what I mean? Sprinkle a little bit of a gem here and there. So we're gonna dive into what you need to know. Keep in mind, it will not resonate with each and every person. So take what resonates and leave the rest. And then we'll dive into a little bit of tarot and see what other messages come out. But this reading right here is really and truly about my notes with your celestial baddie. So let's get into these notes. All right. So this, as you can see from the title, is about energy harvesting and energy siphoning. So this spiritual message is for all signs. So no matter what you are, right? Because we have different makes of our signs. We're not just Aquarius, even though that is our sun sign. But if you are here, trust this message is for you. So today we're going to dive into energy harvesting and energy siphoning. So what are these two things, right? They're two spiritual dynamics that are often overlooked, but can leave you feeling a little bit drained, my squad, right? You could maybe feeling confused. You could maybe feeling like some type of blockage, from your blessings and things of that nature. But let's just be clear here, okay? This is not just limited to relationships romantically. This could even be with friends, co-workers, family members, whatever the case may be. So what is the difference here? What are we talking about? What are you on, my celestial baddie? Like, what are we talking about? So, ever heard the saying someone is like an energy vampire in your life? Well, there are different types of those. And I want you guys to be more equipped and more aware to acknowledge the difference between harvesting vampire and a siphoning vampire. So here are some triggers to look for. So energy harvesting, this is someone who comes into your life, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, to build you up, trigger your growth, spark some spiritual gifts, or whatever the case may be. They may be your hype man. Hype me up. Hype me up. But this is something that they plan to benefit from in some way, shape, or form. So you may have someone that comes into your life and you freely or openly give them your energy because you feel as though, the environment or the space that they are providing for you is welcoming, so you can actually be your true self. Sometimes it just may be that they are around you because they see the gifts and the powers that you have within you. You may be somebody who's always motivated, always making things happen, turning nothing into something. You might be a go-getter, a hustler. You might be somebody who has just this bubbling energy or fire and passion and love, and you're very giving. Yeah, this is somebody who could be coming around you because they see that vibration in you and they want to take that from you. But it's not so much about like focusing on taking. It's something that you're giving willingly. And this person will take and take and take, right? Until they've built up enough for themselves, and they might then ghost you. They might then find themselves in a position where they're winning, so they don't need you anymore because they got what they needed from that situation. So the example that this person used that I heard was like say if you go to the beach, right? You go to the beach and you see a whole bunch of shells, and I can't remember the name of the person or the video that I saw, or I saw, link them or whatever. But let's say, for example, like you're going to the beach and you have you see a bunch of seashells. You see a bunch of seashells, on the floor. What you're going to do, sometimes you pick a couple of them up, collect them for your house. You could decor your place or whatever. That's free. That's the beach offering you these shells, right? Or let's say you plant some vegetables or whatever the case may be, or you go to a garden or whatever, and what you do, you harvest those. Once they have a full bloomed or come to their full potential, you harvest those, right, to go home and enjoy in your home, right? So that is something that is being given to you freely. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. You are enjoying what that is giving you because of the fact that it is something that is available to you. Sometimes you may get a little bit greedy here and there, but you take just enough what you need, and then you go about your business until you may need more. Then you go back, and what you do, you harvest again and you pluck what you need, so that way you're satisfied. So your belly's hungry, so you pluck what you need until you're satisfied. So sometimes we may have individuals in our lives that come into our lives to take what they need when they need it, and then put us back on the shelf. And then when they need it, and that might be that relationship that you have with an ex or whatever, that you ever get that, hey, what you doing, June bug, what you doing, bitter bean, these are the people who come back because they are now depleted of that energy that they took from you. So now they're back to get their next seashell or their next harvested vegetable, because now they're hungry again, right? So this is what we would identify as somebody trying to harvest your energy. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Let's get into energy siphoning. This one here is on a whole nother level. This is more parasitic, okay? This is someone who is feeding off of your energy consistently with the intention to deplete your ass, all right? So if you find that you are feeling anxious or disconnected from yourself, this is because that vibration that is around you is there to actually take from you and deplete you and clean you out dry, right? This is somebody who may create chaos in your life, drama in your life, guilt, or have some type of neediness. So if you ever are around someone and their energy is just always negative or always providing chaos in your life, and after you leave from around this person, you ever feel like you got a headache or you feel stressed or your energy just does this drastic shift, that's because energy transfers. And what you're actually do is feeding into that person's energy, which they are now siphoning that good quality energy that you have and now taking that up upon them. If they're surrounded with drama and chaos and whatever, then you may have those people who may guilt trip you right into, and we call these people narcissists in some way, in some light. They may guilt trip you into feeling some type of way. So now your energy is shifting because now you feel guilty about something, or you feel like you should have did something that you didn't do when you did all that you could, but they're going to make you even feel worse about it. So that is a siphoning energy. Or neediness. You ever have somebody around you, all they want is need, take. You know what I mean? Something's always wrong. They ain't never got no job. They ain't never got no money. They ain't never got shit going on for them, or whatever the case may be. But keep in mind, they ain't never got this when they around you. But when they're around others, they have a whole lot to give. But with you, they ain't got it. That's siphoning energy. They come around you to siphon what you have going on in your energy field. So in something that where you're in like a relationship, it may look like love bombing, followed by some type of manipulation that's just draining all of your emotional reserves, right? So take that into account. And with family, it could be a narcissistic parent, a sibling, a cousin, or whatever the case may be. And they reach out to you to either trauma dump you, guilt trip you, or derail your peace in some type of way, okay? And then you may have those friendships, and this could be a person who needs saving all the time, or brings crisis after crisis after crisis, but they never grow. It's like you help them, but you never see any stepping stone or, elevation with this individual because they are comfortable where they're at, because they know they can always come to you and drain your energy. We're not doing this in 2025, right? So this is why I felt like this was just so needed to have some type of understanding of what this looks like. So let's dive a little bit deeper into these notes, honey. So feeling drained is something that you need to pay attention to because it may show up in different ways. You may be feeling emotionally foggy after interacting with somebody. You may be questioning your worth if you're around this person. Your creativity or your motivation level just drops after speaking with this person, or you're either doubting your intuition or your decisions. You ever go around somebody and you be like, I have this amazing idea, and you share that idea with this person, and this person's like, it's good and all, but I don't think you should do it. I think you should just focus on, what you got going on right now, because, you don't want to leave sure for unsure. No, I don't want that type of energy around me. You're supposed to be pushing me. Girl, I think you hype me up. Hype me up. Like, girl, I want you to be the baddest. And if you need my help, girl, I'm here to support you. What we doing? What's our next move to get this shit off the ground? Right? Because ain't nothing but a trial to failure. You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather fail than not try at all. You hear me? So if you have that person around you that ain't trying to push you or elevate you, what the fuck they around you for? You understand what I'm saying? We tired of being nice in 2025. What we doing that at? And it's not to say that everybody is, on this vibe or on this train to try and take from you and not wanting to see the best for you. That's not everybody, but it's definitely about using discernment and knowing the difference. You hear me? Clock that. Okay? Clock that. So just a spiritual reminder for you, not everyone in life is meant to go the distance, right? So not everyone in life is meant to go the distance. Some people are people who have soul contracts meant to test your discernment. Some are mirrors, some showing up for you in a way of your wounds, and others are simply just here to feed off of you, right? So I do want to just say this. You are not a buffet. You are not a buffet. You are a sacred individual. You are a sacred soul, and your energy, I hope you hear this because I'm saying this in all caps, is currency. Okay? And you can run out of that motherfucker. So choose wisely where you are spending your energy. I love you guys so, so much. All right, let's see what messages come out and what you need to know. All right, let's see. What's the vibe? What is the vibe for the collective? What is it that they need to know? We're just going to do a quick little reading, okay? Look what came out, y'all. Cloak. Look what came out. Cloak. That is so interesting, right? That we got the energy of close. But we're going to see what else comes out with this before we get into it. But I find it to be so interesting. Let's get some other cards here. This cloak is representing some type of, protection in some way for someone, or time to face something head on. But I'm feeling more of a reason of protection. That's why this cloak is here. Show me more. It's about protecting your energy. And then we also have compassion. And bottom of the deck is rescue. Let's get into it. Ooh, look what was the next card, honey. Shapeshifter. Shapeshifter. Boy, look at here. And look, she has on that same cape. That same cape that you see in the cloak. You see that? And look at this image of the rescue. Compassion. Yeah, you're somebody who shows up for people. You got a lot of compassion. You're always there for people. You're always trying to, be that somebody. All right? You the ambulance. You the rescuer in the situation. No, and they know it. They absolutely know it. So they're going to show up every single time for you to rescue them in the situation because they are there to take from you. But now is a time to protect your energy with this cloak. You hear me? Now is a time to conceal the things in your life that is actually your gifts, your powers, because people will siphon the hell out of it knowing the gifts that you have because they don't possess that. And sometimes the reason why they don't possess it is because they don't know what to do with it. You ever prayed for something or seen somebody who prayed for something and then they actually receive it and then they fumble that shit? And then they fumble it? I'm telling you, that was not meant for them to have. The reason why you have what you have is because this was a gift that was meant for you. That's why they say what is meant for you is meant for you. It will come in divine timing when the time is right. Because if you receive something before you're ready for it, you may fumble it. Okay? You may fumble it. So I do want to say here, be very mindful of shapeshifters in your life, their intentions. Something could be not as it seems in situations. Someone here could be camouflaging themselves, you know, to not show up as their true, authentic self here in the situation with you. All right? You are not to be a saber hoe for everybody. We're not doing that in 2025. Right? So now is a time to conceal, right? Conceal your energy. Let's see. Thank you. We have Aries. This could be an Aries that is surrounding you. This energy could also just be representing being active, right? Let's see what else. And we got 5th house. Okay, so yep, 5th house energy, right? We spoke about this, I believe, in another reading. This energy could be of off and on again, nothing too concrete, right? So different types of relationships that you may encounter. And the fact that the Aries energy came out with this energy is very impulsive, very fiery energy, very in and out, taking what you need, very selfish energy. So I feel like you are connecting with relationships, whoever you are, with individuals who can be very they show up as very impulsive. They show up as very daring, very, could even be a little bit fiery in their energy, or they show up like they know what they're doing or know what they're talking about, but they're really and truly there to siphon your energy or harvest your energy. The connections that you have with these individuals is not meant to last a lifetime. You ever heard that saying of the tree? You know how the tree is there, that's the root that is going to stay. And then you have the branches, right? And then you have the leaves. The leaves will fall off after a certain season has passed, right? And the branch may fall off after something may get a little too heavy because it wasn't meant for you to carry. But the tree is you. The tree is you, right? So you have people who come into your life to try and, attach themselves to you in some way, but they're not meant to be there forever. So those situations is to learn and grow from. And this is what makes you the best version of you at the end of the day. But I do feel like, someone could be in your energy that's showing up as passion, showing up as hot, passionate sex, showing up as hot, passionate friendship, showing up as hot, passionate relationships and connectionships, but really and truly, they vampires. You hear me? They vampires trying to siphon what you have going good for yourself. So let's go ahead and see what the message is. Show me what Aquarius needs to look. Actually, let's do this. For the person who this is meant for, show me the energy that is showing up in their life, that is surrounding them and showing up in their life. Show me the energy that is surrounding them and showing up in their life. Let's see. That they may be aware of or unaware of. Give me 3 cards. Thank you. Thank you. Give me one more. What's the energy showing up in their life that they're aware of or unaware of? Okay. I'm going to go through this one more time. I already know what I need to know. Show Show me the energy that is showing up in their life. Thank you. All right, so we have the Temperance card, the King of Cups in the reverse, and the Three of Cups in the upright. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Wands. Need I say more? Need I say more? This energy is about challenges that you may be facing overall here with this Five of Wands energy. This could be conflict, chaos, interruptions, disturbing your peace, right? When you are actually focused, they're showing up as distractions in your life, right? And it's all due to manipulation. You know, one thing about the King of Cups, let me tell you, the King of Cups is emotionally intellectual, right? Notice how I put emotionally in front of it. This is a water sign type of energy, right? So not saying it's a water sign, but I'm just giving you the energy. So this is somebody who knows how to shift the vibration within you and can easily manipulate you if they're not showing up in their true authentic self or in their divine like state. So I truly feel like whoever this is that is showing up in your energy, this person is emotionally manipulating you. And that is the worst. And the reason why I say that is because it's connected to how you feel about things. You ever go buy a car and the first thing they say to you is, how does it smell? How does it feel? Because once they can connect that to heart, it's game over. Once you say, I love it, it's game over, right? So emotionally manipulating you here in a situation that is requiring you to have balance. This could be somebody who is emotionally manipulating you into things that you don't want to do, whether it's a third party situation that you had no idea that you were a part of. That's siphoning energy. That's something that you are not freely giving to somebody. You are being manipulated into a situation that you did not want to be a part of. And the worst thing is finding out that you are a part of something that you didn't want to be a part of. Because now you found out about it, guess what's going to happen? You are going to now feel some way towards yourself because you are now going to feel like, I can't believe I allowed myself to cater to somebody or love somebody or give to somebody that tricked me. Because you're going to feel like you knew better. Right? So this is what this is looking like. This could even mean for some of you here showing up as far as like tricking you into maybe doing things that you don't want to do. Maybe going out to some type of party, connecting with people you don't want to connect with, you know, drinking, smoking, drugs, whatever the case may be. It's requiring balance. It is requiring balance. It's requiring doing things in moderation in the situation here is what I feel. So how do we, you know, cite who these people are when they come into our lives, right? So the way to do that is to not give out all of your energy at once. Give that shit out in doses. You understand what I'm saying? And if they see this in you, right? Because some people will watch you. We have monitoring spirits. They'll watch you before they enter your life, right? Because they see how good you're doing or whatever the case may be. But when somebody's wanting to come into your life, especially at a pivotal point in your life when you're doing good, you're going to have to give in doses and make that person show you through their actions, not their words. In order to be emotionally manipulative, right, that comes with emotional verbiage, meaning the way how they talk to you, how they align themselves to you with maybe the things that you are doing. Let me give you an example. I had a short, I'll say a year connection with someone once. And my energy is just always on 10, honey. Well, I should say always on 10, but you know, I come off with this energy. I'm always a go-getter or whatever the case may be, you know. And this person, I believe, was going through something in their life. Without saying, this person lied from the beginning to the end, honey. Who they were, how old they were, all of these different things, you know, happened with this individual, right? But one thing I did notice, this person always told me throughout the connection is, you are my gift. There was another saying that this person always said to me too. And it was because the way how I made them feel. So it was, I remember seeing this person, like, he would be out on his motorbike and, you know, he would be like so happy. He would video me and like, you know, I'm, you know, like I'd be like, what type of day you had today? And be like, man, I feel like I could do it all. You know why he felt like he can do it all? This is not his typical energy, at least at that pivotal juncture in his life. It's because he was around my energy. He was siphoning my energy. Well, I wouldn't say this one was siphoning. I am going to clarify this one as harvesting my energy. He was taking what he needed when he needed it. I remember he would, like, if we were, not speaking, he would call me just to hear my voice and then hang up because that's all he needed, right? So that is harvesting, right? I do have an example of a siphoning connection that I had, and it absolutely drained the shit out of me. And this is someone that I thought could never, right? Because I was just giving and giving because how this person emotionally made me feel, how I emotionally connected with that person, right? And this person knew that. So they siphoned the hell out of me to the point that it had me in this state of not wanting to do anything. That's not like me at all. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to be very mindful. This message is very heavy for someone, and I hope this reaches the person that is meant to reach. So please, 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 please like this video. If anything else, it helps the reach for who this video is meant for. So let's close out with your overall advice. Let's use this deck. What is the advice you have for my collective? What is the advice? Let's see. Okay. We got potential. Give me one more. And then we have escapist. All right. All right. So let's dive into this energy, your advice. So throne, it says your potential is endless. And every time I see this image, you can see there's 3 seats, but one is in the middle with the power. You can see her hands up with the flames and everything else. She's the one with the power, right? While you have the other 2. It's not to say they're not powerful or they don't have the power. It could be they just don't know how to tap into that energy. It could just very well be that, they are learning, whatever the case may be, right? It's showing you here that your potential is that of someone that is endless. But I feel like the person in the middle here, they are aware of this. They are aware how powerful they are. And I feel like for you, it's about understanding that. So really understand who you are, what your gifts are, and how you allow others to move around you. Okay. We also have escapists, come home to yourself. I feel like this is a message just explaining to you, now's the time to really and truly hone into who you are and having full understanding of what it is that you bring to the table. And I think once you have an understanding of that, then and only then you can decipher how you allow others to experience you. All right, my stars, I love you guys to the moon and back. Till next time. Bye.